Hey guys, this is Susan with Pack Leader Dog Training, and I'm here with my cat, Zom, and Rachel with Rachel Kohler Dog Training. And we're
Hi,
here for weekly Q&A number 33, which is a good number.
it is. I'm here with my dog, Gaia.
Aw,
She's hanging out in place.
she looks black and white there.
See in the shade. She was hanging out in the yard, and then I realized that hanging out here with her, she was gonna want to roll in the grass. We're having some issues with her grass allergies. She's back on her regular dose of Apoquel now, so technically she'd be fine. But I just went ahead and put her on place. That way she can get some work in. Zom's being extra cuddly.
Yeah,
Saw a cute picture of y'all cuddling.
thank you. Yeah, he's been extra weird lately. Maybe because of all the dogs. I don't know.
He's like, Ma, what's going on? Well, that's cute. Cute little Zom. Let's see. So tell me about all the things. You've got some new exciting things happening this week.
Yeah, I have my first ever Train While You Work dog. His name is Minos.
Now, what is Train While You Work, Susan?
Train While You Work is like daycare training. So instead of a board and train where the dog's boarded with me, this is where you drop your dog off in the morning and then you pick your dog up in the evening. So I have your dog during the day, you have your dog evenings and weekends. So it's nice for the people that don't like the idea of their dog being away for a 2 or 3 week span, because it's only available with the 2 and 3 week board and trains. So Minos is he may be 5 months now, 5-month-old golden retriever.
Mm-hmm.
So I've only had him yesterday and today. So we were just working on his basic obedience commands, and he actually had a really great day today. So very exciting.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Those breakthrough days are always the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He is cute. He looks like a senior golden retriever in a puppy golden retriever body. It's adorable.
He has so much extra
cute
too.
He's so cute.
He's pretty sweet. Yeah. What do you got going on?
Well, I'm doing my first Q&A outside, so that's fun. Been gone at work, working like all day, every day now. So, guys, been having some less outside time. I've been feeling guilty about it. It's in your hair. So we're outside now, and it's, you know what I was thinking as I was like rushing to come down here for the Q&A? I was like, back in the day, I used to like stress out like an hour beforehand to like make sure my hair was done, and I had like at least some mascara on to do the Q&A, and now I'm like rushing home after training all day to like hop in front of a live and answer dog training questions.
Yeah,
because it doesn't matter if my hair and makeup is done or not, my answers are going to be the same regardless.
Yeah. People watch, people still learn whether or not I look presentable or not. So
this is how I train dogs all day. So this is what the clients see. Straight from a graduation lesson. It is what it is, right?
Yeah. Who graduated? Or who's graduated?
We had Samantha and Tank. They had their first graduation lesson today. So Samantha's the Dalmatian puppy and Tank's my bulldog puppy. I said that because it sounded like they were like a pair of siblings. They're not siblings, but they both had their first day of graduation today. And they both did amazing. So that was awesome. So I do 3 graduation lessons with my dogs, or with the owners, because I go over a lot of information, because I don't do a med like you do. So they got to learn everything in this 3-day span. So it's a lot. So we spread it out to 3 days. So day 1 is a lot of talking. I go over all of the things and what they mean so they can like hear it once. And then we get them up and working a little bit. And then we have the next 2 days to have them practicing all that stuff I just told them so they can hear me saying it all again while they're doing it. Okay. So they go in with a basic idea of how to do it, and then they're doing it as I'm guiding them through it. And then I'm always there to say, hey, you should do this or you should do that. And I joke with them because I'm like, I got to be annoying and I got to remind you not to say the command twice. I got to remind you every time you do it twice.
I know.
But what's great, and I warn them, I'm like, I know it's annoying,
Right.
but the great thing is, it happens every time. Let's say I've told them a couple times, hey, don't repeat commands. Well, then they repeat the command and they're like, crap. And I'm like, that's great because you caught yourself. And if you can catch yourself, then when I'm not here, you can catch yourself. Right. So that's a process, but they both did great. So that was really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know Samantha's come a long way. Not that Tank hasn't, but I know Samantha was a special case for you.
Samantha. Yeah, Samantha, she just would rather sleep. Didn't matter what time I got there. Didn't matter how long of a nap she had. It was training or sleep. And I'm going to choose sleep every time. So finding her motivation was a challenge. And she had no care about leash pressure at all. So she would pull on her flat collar just ridiculously. And then I moved to the prong collar, and I thought that was going to be different. But I think I was still, if I remember correctly, I was still struggling teaching her prong collar pressure.
Yes.
Like that took a few sessions just doing like prong collar dance with her, teaching her to yield to that pressure. Like multiple sessions when most dogs will learn to yield to pressure in a half a session.
Yeah.
So finally I had her owner switch over to using a harness with her. That's why a lot of the pictures she's in, she's wearing a harness, just because she just wears it. So that way she feels zero pressure on her neck from their flat collar. The only pressure she feels on her neck is when I'm training her and she's got to yield to that.
Right.
So I mean, she pulls on her harness as crazy as anything else, but that's allowed us to make the progress we've made with prong collar, knee collar training.
Yes. That's fantastic. That's what Minos, he comes to me with a harness on, and I actually love it because they can have him pull on a harness all he wants.
Right.
I don't care. But
yeah, I think that's going to be my new thing after Samantha. You know, we say this every time, but we are always learning with every single dog we have. And I've not had a puppy be so desensitized to leash pressure before. I've never had a puppy not care the way she did. So I now, you know, I've learned some different conversations to have with owners, you know, some different tips and tricks to give owners to prevent their dog from becoming that desensitized. But then mainly just harness. I'm like, yep, your dog's in training with me. Go ahead and walk them on a harness. Because I don't want them to ever feel pressure on their neck and pull and get to where they want to go. So that is definitely something I've been thinking about, like new dogs coming in, like especially young puppies, just have a harness on them. Yeah. Another thing is I'm rambling, sorry. I tell my puppy people to keep a leash on their dogs at all times when they're out. Yes, they should be on a crate schedule, and when they're out, you should be with them. Not everybody wants to follow that schedule. So if your puppy's out and they have free time, they need to be on a leash so you can follow through. So I'd rather them dragging a leash on a harness than a leash on a flat collar.
Right.
But when they're like little tiny things. But little tiny things. It's funny though, seeing Samantha. She's like she went from like this tiny puppy. She was at tiny puppy stage forever. And then she was at this puppy with long legs stage for a while. And then now suddenly she looks almost like a full Dalmatian.
Really?
Yeah, like she's still small. But there's been a few times where I've looked at her recently and it's like, you've definitely had a growth spurt.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy.
The cool thing about puppies, you get to see them like the whole way through, but
it is really fun. Especially like with doing puppy program and then hands-off training and then train while you work. I really do, because, you know, I used to specialize in puppies. But most of those at the facility I used to be at, most of them only did the puppy program. That's not what they called it, but they would only do their version of puppy program. And then I'd never see them again.
Oh.
But now I get to like watch these dogs grow up.
That's so fun. Yeah, you get to see them through every stage. That's awesome.
I do enjoy it.
I do have a question for you.
Okay.
My 10-month-old lab runs down the stairs past my wife and children and knocks them over sometimes. This is a dangerous behavior that I would like to stop. What can I do for this?
Man, it's so messed up because I had like 4 different smart aleck answers that were going to be really funny. And then it made me think of the person we know who sucks, who always has a smart aleck answer for everything. I just don't even feel like it would be funny now. But what can you do? So we can. I'll go through what my thought process was on it, and then you'll say yours. But when I first heard of this, I'm trying to remember. It was like doing stair drills, but like for the door. So we have the leash on. We're at the top of the stairs. You're gonna do an auto sit, and then I can either, I guess, say break, and then we walk down the stairs together. Now, if you go flying down the stairs, there's gonna be leash pressure, and we're gonna turn around and walk back up them. And now we're gonna approach the stairs again, just calmly, and we're just gonna create the picture of walking calmly down the stairs. Would probably be my go-to. But you'd have to do like lots of reps of that. So forget the stair climber. You can just train your dog on the stairs. But that would be my thought. But I am excited to hear your approach.
So it's for Francis, the board and train that I have. I was very taken aback when they told me this because I actually was like, I don't know what. I'm like, what could you do? Because I was thinking you could.
It's a tough one.
You could out him from you if you're, because it's only when you're walking down. I think when they're walking down the stairs. So they're walking down, he smacks into them and like he's knocked them over because he's so big and he's just like he's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of energy. So I was like, you could out him, like if he gets anywhere near you, it's like out, and so that's super annoying for him. So he learns like I can't be anywhere near the owner or a human who's going down the stairs. Mm-hmm. So I thought of that. I also thought of like a harsh correction if he like starts to run and like knocks into you. But I was like, that's really awkward. How am I going to do that?
Right.
So I just asked the owners, I said, how annoying would it be for you to have him have a command to be at the top of the stairs? You walk down. And then when you get to the bottom of the stairs, you say break and he comes down. And they said that wouldn't be annoying. So I said, okay. So I taught him wait. So the command is wait. He can sit or down, I don't care. But as long as you plant yourself at the top of the stairs, when I tell you wait, I walk down the stairs. And then when I get to the bottom, I say break. Now he does come flying down the stairs like a bat out of hell. But I'm not on the stairs, so I don't care. But
right.
That way it's like, it's not a threshold drill because threshold drills for me don't have a name. So if you didn't do it all the time, it'd water it down. So like with the stairs, he's going to be able to go up and down the stairs whenever he wants with nobody there. So it's a command because if I tell you to wait, you have to wait there and then I'm going to release you. So that's what we've done.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. That's the first. Yeah, he's not really a small guy. So no. I'd imagine his big clumsy lab self barreling down the stairs.
Yeah, I have to remind myself that he's a puppy, which I know he asked me about because he looks like he's 2 years old to me. Mm-hmm. I would say 2. He's 10 months.
He does look like he's like 2. That's like what I would guess too if I saw him. Mm-hmm. That's funny though. He's a big guy. He's really sweet though.
He's really He's sleeping in his kennel because I just took him to the park right before the Q&A, so he'd be nice and rested.
Nice.
He's just passed out in there.
Exciting. A trip to the park. Is that on your story? Because I haven't had the chance to look at your story yet.
Yeah, it's on my story.
Cute.
Yeah, my story has like 100 ticks on it.
Okay, and I usually can't watch them all till the night, so then I'll watch it all at nighttime, and I'll respond to like 50 of your stories at once.
Yeah. You'll just be a little late to the party. That's okay. You had things you were
doing. I am. Oh gosh.
Do you have anything?
Huh?
Do you have anything, or do you want me to ask you another one?
Yeah, I got one for you.
Okay.
So this is more of just like a conversation-y type thing. What do you think about when people talk about their dogs doing things out of spite? Now, when, like specifically, I tell my dog no and she walks away and pees on the floor in front of me. Or like when there's instances of that happening often. Like I'll say no to my dog, or I'll say bad dog, or I didn't let her play with her toy, or whatever it is, and then she did this out of spite. She walked away and peed.
The trainer in me says, no. I don't really know the dogs do things out of spite. But that being said, I'm not one to like really judge somebody. I would need to see it first. So if someone said, hey, my dog does this out of spite, I'd be like, that's really weird. And I would ask them more questions, like every time. So every time you say this, your dog goes and does this. And then if that were the case, I'd be like, okay, well, maybe it's a picture thing. Like maybe the first time the dog acted out, they had to go potty. And you were like, no. So the dog's like, I got to pee. And then they just peed. And then it became a picture that was just patterned. Every time you said the word, they went and peed. I don't know. But it doesn't ring true to me that dogs do things out of spite. It really doesn't.
Right.
I haven't seen it.
So that was my thing, because I've had multiple people tell me, yeah, they do things out of spite. This will happen, and then they chew up my shoe, or then they'll go and pee on the floor, and different things like that. And it's hard because I know dogs don't think like that. But how do I explain it to an owner other than they're not doing it out of spite? So that's why I wanted to know what you had said. So you're right, it's a picture thing. Like maybe coincidentally, this is what happened, you know? Or, you know, now that I'm talking this out, you know, the pee thing, coincidence with timing, or like you said, you created that picture, but so you yell at your dog for doing something, but they've got all the freedom in the world. Should they go do something else? But they're a puppy. So they're already going to make just a bad decision. So then they happen to go chew on your shoe. And to you, it seems like I said no to you for this. So now you chew on my shoe out of spite. I don't know. I was just wondering because I've had like several owners tell me like, yes, when this happens, my dog does blah and it's out of spite. And I don't always know how to explain it.
I wouldn't be able to do a blanket statement like it's not
right.
Because this, but if you told me your situation, I'd probably be able to give you like, well, I could see it happening this way. Now, if you told me a cat, I could believe it with a cat. I can't believe it with a dog, but I haven't seen it. So if you told me like every time this happens, my dog does this, I would just need more information. But I really don't think that they do things out of spite.
Right, because they're in the moment. Out of spite would be like premeditated. It'd be like, man, screw you. You just made me do this. I'm gonna go over here and pee in your shoes now.
Right.
Like that's not the thought process. That you know. Right. But yeah, it was just interesting. I don't remember the exact detail now because it was the day I had a couple of phone calls back to back. So I'm kind of blurring the two conversations. So I don't remember their specific details. But next time I'll chat to you about that and see what you think.
Yeah. No, yeah, I would like to know. I'm a puzzle solver. So if someone said that to me, I would ask them like tons of questions just because I want to solve that puzzle because I don't think it's spite. So what is it? Somebody just rang my doorbell.
You go check on that. It may
be the neighbor kids though, asking to walk my dog.
That's so adorable.
So I'm just gonna wait it out.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
What
you got?
I have. Okay, if I use the e-collar, will my dog only listen because he's afraid of getting punished?
Depends on how you train him. You can train a dog on the e-collar and they only listen because they're scared of being corrected highly. Or you could train your dog the way we train dogs and they understand the pressure, so they understand how to turn it off. So they understand I can avoid that pressure through listening. And then also through the way we train is we really build a relationship with our dogs. So while I tell everyone to, keep tools on keep the tools on because they're like a seatbelt, hypothetically I could take the tools off and I have that relationship with the dogs. Now I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to set us up for a training fail. And a training fail would be I give you a command and you don't listen and then you had a successful rep of ignoring me. But like most of the time, I barely use the e-collar on my dogs by the time they graduate because we've got that understanding. We've worked together. We've been through the steps. We are speaking the same language right now. And that's what I do for my owners. I give them a protocol and a checklist that they follow so they can build up that same relationship with their dog. So it's about what you said to me one time, and I don't think you were going to go there with this, so I'm okay stealing it from you. Like, through this protocol and through these checklists that I have, it helps your dog see you as a leader at Pack Leader Dog Training, right? So it's not I'm alpha, I'm so mean, you better listen to me or I'm going to crack the crap out of you. It's a leader. It's somebody that they want to follow. You know, they look to us for guidance through the style of training that we do, you know?
Right. Yeah, it is really the relationship. Because I was just telling Rachel about this today or last night.
Hey, girl.
Regularly with my dogs. Now, we worked at a training facility that he was heavy on like the tool and really having
we don't train with relationship.
Yeah, we don't train with a relationship. Now, this was that other facility. He said that they didn't train with relationships, that he wanted the e-collar to be the powerful thing because then you could hand it off to the owner. I think he put a really strong emphasis on that falsely because you do build a relationship with the dog. You're going to build some kind of relationship. Yes, the dog is going to respond to the e-collar, and that's why the training transfers so well. The dog is communicated with this receiver, and I'm going to teach the owner how to use it. But I was just telling Rachel last night, regularly, especially when I first came back from my internship, I would notice that if I was trying to do low-level dial-up in the car, which is all wordless, you don't give the dog any information, you just have taught them in the kennel first, turn this low-level pressure off, and then you transfer it to the car. My dogs would struggle with the low level. Like, they're just sitting there like, I don't care. And if I would give them the verbal cue of, no, and then now I go to dial, and they already laid down. So, like, that relationship with me meant more than this freaking tool. It's just, like, tapping on their neck. They don't really care about the pressure sometimes, but they care about me because I've made myself relevant. That's the relationship I have. So I just think that's kind of interesting. But, yeah, it's not that the dogs – I mean, yes, there's a consequence for breaking command. So is the dog – wanting to do something less because they've been punished for it? Sure. But they're not scared. It's just like, oh, you know, like one of my clients said that. She's like, yeah, my dog's still a happy-go-lucky dog. They just don't make mistakes anymore because, or if they do, they can be corrected. But the dog makes good choices. It's not a big, we've also patterned, hey, it's good to make this choice. Well, now it's bad to not listen, though. So it's fair. Very fair. It's good if you listen. It's bad if you don't. It's not just bad if you don't.
Right. And that's why, like, I really identify with the phrase balanced trainer. Because to me, I truly am balanced. Like, if you do right, I'm going to praise you. I'm going to tell you, you know, great job. I'll give you a treat, or I'll give you a pat or something, right? Or release you and we can move on, right? And then if you don't, there's a consequence. Black and white, balance, right? And then to go on a little side thing here, if you don't mind, about the relationship thing. Said trainer, POS trainer in Rhode Island. Google that, you'll probably find him. Let me stop. He says, we don't train with relationship, we don't train with relationship, we don't train with relationship, blah, 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 blah. Well, first off, other than the fact that he's just lying right through his teeth, he does train with a relationship. Just one of fear. Because he has said before, I want this dog to be so worried. This is quotes. I want them to be so worried about me that they don't even think about making a wrong decision. A direct quote from him. So if the dog is so worried about you, they're worried about you. I won't even say fear. I won't put words in his mouth. But they are so worried about you, they're not going to make a mistake. How are you going to transfer that same worry over to the owners when little soft mom or soft dad, I've actually found in the case, comes up and he's like, here with his dog now. Dog doesn't care about the dad. He doesn't respect the dad anyway. So how are you going to transfer to the dad that the dog should be so worried about the dad's presence that he won't even think about messing up on a command, you know? And that just irks me because he's like, we don't train with a relationship. You do. You just train with a crappy one. Whereas we don't train with relationship. We train in a way that gives us a good relationship with the dogs. And then we can teach the owners how to do the same thing because the owners already have a relationship with their dog. And not to say that's a bad one, because they love their dogs, but it might not be the healthiest one. So through our training, they can shift their relationship to where it's a healthy relationship, because that's what this is about. This is your dog. This is your pet. You're gonna have a relationship with them. You know,
Right.
my dogs that I train, I freaking love the dogs that I train. When I used to get so sad when it was graduation time, because I would never see my dogs again. Now I offer train and play. So now it's not goodbye, you know? But that's my rant about relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
You always train with there's going to be a relationship.
Yeah. And any interaction with anybody, person or dog, there's a relationship. A relationship is, I don't know what the definition is, but it's, you know, like there's a relationship there, no matter what. It's up to you if it's a good one or a bad one.
Right.
What are you gonna say?
With the first interaction you have with anything, you've built a relationship. Really, it's how you relate to someone.
Exactly. Oh, but he doesn't have a relationship with the dogs because he doesn't actually train them. He just says he does.
He doesn't.
Nah, he just comes in and cracks them. All right. Anyways.
Just for social media.
I hate him so much. Is it my turn? Oh, sorry.
Oh, you have one?
Oh, you go first. Because I don't got a lot, really.
What do you guarantee with your training?
Susan Konsevich. That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to say I'm going to talk about guarantees. But no, you go first.
Well, I can do mine first, because then you can do yours.
I was going to say the same thing. So I'm not going to say the super awesome thing you said, because I'm not going to steal that from you like that. But I'll answer the question. What do I guarantee with my training? I am a little bit different, I think. I do guarantee sit, down, place, heel, recall, and out. Now, I do have that talk with owners. Technically, my stuff says on and off leash. If you have a super flighty dog, I might encourage you to never take them off leash. Now, with y'all's relationship, you might get there. But I don't always get to a point where I'd say I would trust this dog off leash in an unfenced-in area. But in a fenced-in backyard, cool. I guarantee sit, down, place, heel, recall, out. If your dog's not learned those 6 commands by the time the course is done, if they've not learned it because we had to take 2 weeks learning leash pressure, then we will add on time to your training course so we can get those commands, because we got to move at the dog's pace. That being said, in my contract, I do state that I will address behavioral issues. I will address whatever behavioral issues they are. I may use the training commands to help with them. I may correct the dog. I might do this. I might do that. However, I do not guarantee behavioral issues to be solved, because 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, in order for a behavioral issue to change, the owners have to listen to my advice, because I'm only with the dog for 3 hours a week. So if the behavioral issue is something that the dog's doing all day, every day, unless the owners listen to my advice, dog's going to keep doing it when I'm not there. And I'm going to make one more comment and then you go. Because I was thinking about this while I was driving today. I might rephrase my contract to say I only guarantee these 6 commands on your graduation lessons. Because if you do as my clients have done before and throw away the training after I leave and not do your 90-day protocol and not do your milestone checklist and not use the tools and not do anything, your dog's not going to listen to you. They're not going to recall to you. They're not going to go in their place. They're not going to do any of the things. So I think I'm going to rephrase my contract just to say I'm going to guarantee these commands on graduation day. Anything after that is up to you.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling very passionate about that. I've got some stuff.
Yeah, in my contract, I don't guarantee anything. I'm working with a living creature, right? So I can't promise you that your dog, because people ask, like, do you guarantee anything? So let's say Jack, who's dog aggressive, I said I can't promise you that he's going to love other dogs. May he want to maybe play with a dog one day? Maybe. but I can tell you that I can get him to exist calmly with other dogs.
Mhm.
But like, I don't have any guarantees in my contract because it is a living creature that I'm dealing with. I can't tell you like it's going to be this cut and paste thing.
Right.
But like Rachel and I were talking about the other day, and it just came out of my mouth, and it was really great.
It was amazing. I want that on a freaking pillow.
But I said,
Add
I'm
that
like,
to the list.
I can't guarantee the results, but you can as the owner. If I have a dog, yeah, I can definitely guarantee that this dog's going to be 100% on point, everything. But I can't guarantee that you can. If you
Right.
follow everything that I'm telling you to do, you know, with tweaks made personalized to you. So I'm not going to say like, oh, you have to do X, Y, Z right
I'm
for
gonna
every
say
single
that.
dog. It's not like a copy and paste thing.
Right.
The core is the same, and then we tailor it to your individual dog based on their problems. So like Francis, I would feel totally confident with him, you know, in my house with my dogs. I could go to the bathroom and then, you know, be fine. But if Jack was in my house, I don't think so.
Mhm.
Like, it would all be on place, and he'd probably be on a tie back because I know Jack's bitten other dogs, you know, so his rules might be different. If no
Right.
one can help him, he needs to be held accountable or put in his kennel, you know, like advocate for him and the other dogs. So like the rules for the dogs are different depending on what their problems are. But
Right. No, and that was a great conversation we had because it really got me thinking a lot. And that quote that you said, you know, I can't guarantee the results, but you can, was just amazing because one of the, you know, silly things I say is obviously it's a living animal, but I'm like, yeah, I can train any dog, but what is the owner going to do with it, you know? Because if the second training is done, you throw away my binder and you don't continue it, your dog's going to be the same dog that they were before I trained them. Dogs aren't dumb. They're opportunists. If you don't hold them accountable and they would rather act a fool, why are they going to just act good? Why? Like, why? They have no reason to. But the situation we were talking about, I've got a puppy starting. His name is Oliver, so I'll be posting him soon. He's starting next week. He is 20 weeks old and he has resource aggression. Super fun. So I am starting a puppy program with him. I'm actually modifying my course. He's going to be allowed to do that when he's a little bit older. So I can squeeze him in my schedule because this is a serious issue we need to work on. And his mom asked me, she was like, you know, real talk, can you guarantee that you're going to fix this issue? And I said, no, I can't. I can't guarantee that. You know, the only thing I guarantee are my commands. I said, but that being said, and this goes for all my clients, if you're putting in the work with your dogs, I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to put in the overtime. I'm going to give you extra lessons. Like, as a business person, it's probably not smart, but I don't care. Like, if you're putting in the work, I'm going to give you extra lessons. I'm going to put in the work to help make sure you're successful. So I told Oliver's mom, I said, if you put in the work, if you do your best to follow my suggestions I'm going to give you, because for resource guarding, it's strict. If you follow the advice I give you and do everything you can, I'm going to keep doing everything I can. That's the only thing I can guarantee. But if you lie to me or don't give me all the information or don't tell me things, then I can't do anything with that, you know?
Right.
But
you
on
can
the
only
side,
you can only give as much as the owner is going to give. And we've had that conversation before, and it's hard.
It's a tough one.
But we can't care more than the owner does. And sometimes we find that we do, and it's really frustrating.
So my quote of the year, it's my journal, my planner has like a quote of the month thing. And I only did it for the first 2 months, but it was my quote then. And it's just my quote for the year. And it's all I can do is what I can do. And that's just like my new life motto, you know? I'm going to do everything I can because I care about my dogs. I want my dogs to be successful. I want my owners to be successful. But all I can do is what I can do. And for instances with such severe behavioral issues, all I can do is give you a set of rules, give you a schedule. Like, I will write out schedules for my clients. I'll do everything I can, but it's up to you to follow that.
Right.
But I was distracted. I was going to turn the computer around right after we finished, but of course she got up. We used to have a fish pond in my yard, like forever ago. So we have just like a little divot where it used to be because like it didn't get all the way filled with dirt. And Gaia just discovered that like yesterday. She's back on her Apoquel, so I let her go explore in the grass. But she just discovered that little divot, and she was just in it rolling around, and it was so cute.
Aww.
So I think that's about to be her new favorite spot to be.
A little dirty piggy.
It's grass there.
Oh, I was picturing dirt.
Oh no, it's all grass now. We haven't had that pond there in like probably 10 years, but we just didn't put enough dirt in it when we filled it up
to level it.
So it's just a little bloop. But it was really cute when she was rolling around in it. She fit perfectly. Well, you stole my question. So you're gonna have to ask me another one while I think about another one for you. I probably won't think of one though, if we're gonna be really honest.
Okay. Is it possible that my dog doesn't listen to me because they're deaf?
Is it possible your dog doesn't listen to you because they're deaf?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they're deaf, they're probably not going to listen to you. Possible, sure. Likely, maybe not. You could have your vet check it. You could clap really loud while your dog's looking the other way or sleeping or something. That being said, if your dog is deaf, that doesn't mean that they can never listen to you. So you can train a deaf dog, which I've always wanted to do. So if anyone listening has a deaf dog and you want me to train it, hit me up. But not a blind dog though. That would just be weird. I mean, I would, but not the point. So distracted. Yes, you can get a deaf dog to listen to you. Is that why your dog's not listening to you? Probably not. But you could definitely check it out. What do you think? I got distracted thinking about training a deaf dog.
No, I heard everything you said, so I might as well just like go on to the next question. Yeah, it's not very likely. When I worked at the animal hospital, there weren't a lot of dogs. I specifically said animal hospital instead of vet hospital for you. It always makes fun of me because I say vet hospital every time.
I like it.
But yeah, there was only like one dog that was truly deaf. There were these 3.
Was it white?
Hold on. It was these people that accidentally, it was an accident, bred their 2 Merle collies. So if you know anything about Merles, they should not be bred. They had an accidental litter and they kept all the puppies. Because 3.
Because they were messed up.
1 was blind, 1 was deaf, 1 was blind and deaf.
See no evil, hear no evil, and see and hear no evil.
Yeah. So they kept.
Yeah.
But it might be.
What do you do with a blind and deaf dog? Real talk. I've seen them, but I followed one on Instagram for a while. But
teach them by smells. Have them on a leash all the time.
Is there any quality of life there? And this is really honestly horrible, and I might get some crap for this, but is there any quality of life there?
I don't know.
And it's horrible because I feel that way about people too. If I was blind and deaf, is there any quality of life?
Yeah. I don't know. It would depend on the dog. You would know. Like.
Yeah, I'd frolic around and run into stuff and have a good time maybe.
Like I could picture Little being blind and deaf and still wagging her tail and like, you know what I mean?
Getting pets, yeah. As long as someone's petting her, she'd be happy. And I guess if that's all they know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But
well, that's a fun trio they've got. Yeah. I didn't know that about not breeding Merles. I knew different coats. I knew like Merle coats were more susceptible to different health issues. I knew that the white coat, something with the gene makes them more susceptible. I don't know if that's the right thing, but to be deaf.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about not breeding 2 Merles. You know why I didn't know? Because I'm not a breeder. But
yeah, don't breed Merles.
Don't breed anything.
They'll be broken.
Wow. Pretty messed up. I mean, go them for keeping them all.
Yeah.
And taking good care of them, I hope, and then spaying and neutering all of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and they came in. I don't remember them having any medical issues like that needed attention. They came in once a year. All 3 of them together.
Did they have the parents still?
I don't think so. Because I never remember them coming in. Like, I remember their last name, and I remember those 3 dogs, but I don't remember them having other dogs. I almost said their last name, like, A, it would matter, and B, like, I shouldn't say the last name, but I almost said
Yeah.
it.
Huh.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was like a stud situation or something, and they just kept all the puppies, or
I don't know.
that's interesting though. Good for them, because I could not imagine.
1, 2, 3, or 4.
3.
My 11-week-old beagle puppy barks at every other dog he sees. How do I know if he's aggressive?
Aggression is the intent to kill a bee, right? So if he was aggressive, you said 11 weeks old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I won't say it's likely that he's not, because I've met some pretty messed up puppies last year. But what does he do? Does he just bark at him and he's a little puppy and I want to get close to you, but I'm nervous, so I bark and I back up? Or is he biting and snapping and trying to hurt them? And then what is he doing off a leash? Is this only why he's on a leash? He's biting and freaking out, or barking and freaking out? It's hard, without seeing it. And then, so the main, I don't know, then I think about like body language, right? Because I can look at it and usually tell, is he bark, 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 and then I back up and I'm nervous, and then bark, 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 like doing that kind of thing? Or is it like really stiff? Bark, 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 not happy, like snarling, and from 11-week-old puppy would be really alarming. But how do you know? Contact a professional and have them look at it. Mm-hmm. It's hard to tell, but you gotta know the intent, you gotta just know. And it's hard because you like go to think of body language. Usually if a dog's wiggling and bouncing around, they're not aggressive. Because if you wiggle and bounce around, you don't feel tough, right? You feel pretty silly. If a dog was being aggressive, they're not going to be wiggling around and shaking their butt and being loosey goosey. They're going to be really stiff, and they're going to be in like fight mode. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Yeah, it's hard to say without seeing it, but that's why we're here. So there's certain questions that we can really easily answer and like help you out, but we couldn't safely say, oh yeah, your dog sounds aggressive or whatever based on what you're telling us. You really need someone to see it. But everything Rachel said is true. That's what we would look for. Their body language. You can just tell by the intent of their bark sometimes. Like if their hair is standing up, if they're charging forward or bouncing around and moving backwards, like she said, it's all body language and assessment. And it'd be a disservice to for me to say, oh yeah, your dog's not aggressive. And then you're like,
something happened.
Yeah, and then you let them off leash and the dog, puppy bites somebody. But
right.
Also, it's not very common. It's not common for a puppy that young to be aggressive, but it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's a German Shepherd, and can you guess the other breed? Puppy they were scary. Like, you need to seek a trainer because that is not normal. Do you have a guess on what the other breed was? I'd say probably like 11-week-old, like between the ages of 9 to 12 weeks old.
You said a German Shepherd, Malinois, first guess.
No, we didn't see many Malinois at all at the hospital.
I got a couple guesses of which one should I go with. Dutch Shepherds, those are crackheads, but I know you won't see a lot of those, so that's not a good guess. I could be basic and say Pit Bull, but it's not that. My other thought was Rottweiler.
Cattle dog. That was a scary cattle dog. Like, he was.
And you said it was 11 weeks old?
He needed a good bonking is what he needed. No, bam.
Why I say that and she looked at me. Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing more and more cases of resource regression in puppies, which is super duper fun. But less so just pure aggression. Mm-hmm. That's pretty unlikely. Resource regression, though, that's a pain in the booty to deal with.
Are we boring you?
Sorry, I've been up since freaking ever, training dogs all day. So have you.
And I haven't?
I said so have you. I had to drive around. I had to do 2 graduation lessons. I just already had to talk for like 3 hours straight before doing this.
All right, fine.
And I'm out of water, so.
I'm out of drink too.
Well, mine was hydrating me. Yours was just dehydrating you.
It was delicious.
It matched my shirt.
So, cool. Whenever the drink is empty, we're done.
My water's done. I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't get a single question today, so I'm cool ending it if you want to be done. I think 45 minutes is all right for a Tuesday that we've both been working since like 7 this morning.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. As always, you can follow us at Pack Leader Dog and Rachel Fuller Dog Trainer. Thanks so much for watching. Happy training.
Bye.